All right, we've got one last example here in this section, and what we want to do in this one is we want to find the constants a and b so that the minimum for this parabola is at the point negative 1 comma 4. All right, so this is kind of a little bit working backwards. Here we're given the minimum, and we want to find the function that fits that. So let's go ahead and take the derivative of this, right? We know that a and b are constants, right? So if we take the derivative of this, we end up with 2x plus whatever that constant is, a, and then the derivative of b, since it's just a constant, is just going to be 0. Okay, so we got 2x plus a. All right, now we have to have a critical point at negative when x is equal to negative 1, right? So that means that the derivative has to be 0 when x is negative 1. All right, so if the derivative at negative 1 is 0, okay, so the derivative is 2x, so I'm going to replace the x with a negative 1 plus a, and I know that has to be equal to 0 if we have a local minimum there. And so we can find a, right? So 2 times negative 1 is just 2. If I add that, or if I add 2 to both sides, I get a has to be equal to 2. Okay, so now I have a. Now, how do I find b? Well, I know that the value of the function, right? I know that f of negative 1 has to be equal to 4, right? Because I know that this point, this minimum point, is on the graph. And so when I plug in negative 1 into f of x, I should get 4. So let's do that. I'm going to have f of negative 1 is just going to be negative 1 squared. I'll just write it out. Negative 1 squared plus a times, and we know a is 2 now, times negative 1. I'm replacing the x with a negative 1, and then plus b. Okay? And I know that has to be equal to 4. So now I can solve for b. So I have 1 minus 2, right? 1 minus 2 is a negative 1, and if I add 1 to both sides, I'll get b is equal to 5, right? So now I know my function has to be f of x is equal to x squared plus 2x plus 5. Okay, those are the only a and b values that will work. Now it asks for a and b, so I suppose I could, put a little box around, because this is really what it was asking for, was a and b. It wasn't really asking for the actual function. Oops, hang on. All right, hang on. I'm just gonna put a box around. I just want to put a box around this. All right, there we go. So that's my answer. Those are the a and b values that work, that make it make the critical point, make the minimum value negative 1 comma 4. All right, that's all I've got for this section. So I'll see you in class.